Good evening. Hello.
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so let's get started. So everyone, can you hear me? My voice is clear.
ये क्या है?
One minute, let me check. Yes, okay. Yeah, we'll start. Okay, just give me a minute. My voice is clear.
ये क्या?
ठीक है. So fine. So let's try to understand about the PostgreSQL and the importance of PostgreSQL. And today we will try to understand about the architecture of PostgreSQL also. Okay. So let us try to understand about that. Fine. So in the last lecture we discussed about the PostgreSQL. As you know that PostgreSQL is a RDBMS database. Again, it is an open source database. Open source means anything which is open source. It means if you want to use this, it is completely free of cost. Not completely free of cost, I would say, but again, the source code is available to use. Like you can take the source code whenever any RDBMS database get developed. Normally it get developed into some language, right? So you can download the code of PostgreSQL database and you can make the changes as per your requirement. It is possible. But if you take the example of other RDBMS database, like let's say SQL Server or Oracle database, these databases are not open source. It means you are not able to see the internals of Oracle database. You are not able to see the internals of SQL Server database. Even if you think that I want to add on some plugins or I want to make some changes into this RDBMS database, you cannot do that. But if you consider the example of PostgreSQL database, you can download the code, you can make the changes as per your requirement. That is all possible. That is all possible with the help of your PostgreSQL database. And since it is a free of cost, you don't need to purchase any license if you want to use this PostgreSQL database. Most of the projects which are not able to pay a lot of licensing free, they are going and they are trying to understand about the PostgreSQL database. But there is one challenge which you see in the PostgreSQL database, and it is related to the support. Support means, just take an example. Support means, let's say you got some issues with your PostgreSQL database, and if you want to reach out to the owner of PostgreSQL database, that is not possible. Normally, if I compare it with the other RDBMS database like Oracle or SQL Server, let's say you got some issues with your Oracle database, so you will have a support from your Oracle. You can go back to the Oracle, you can say that, okay, I can see this is the bug in my Oracle database. So Oracle will provide you patch and you are going to apply that patch. So you have some point of contact through which you can try to resolve the query. Similar way, if you have any issues with the SQL Server database, you can go to the Microsoft support and they will provide you the patch or any performance issues or any issues. They will try to help you to fix that issue. But in the PostgreSQL database, that is not possible. But yes, there are some companies which are available. Like just take an example of EDB Postgres. So EDB Enterprise Database, again it's a company which provide the support to the PostgreSQL. There is another company called Percona. So these are the companies which provide their own version of PostgreSQL. And if you are using that, and if you see any issues in that version, or let's say you need any support, then you can expect a support from the companies like EDB or Porcona. But again, one challenge is like anything, wherever you provide a support, wherever you get the support is not free of cost. If you want to use Porcona Postgres, or if you want to use EDB Postgres, then you need to pay the charges. This PostgreSQL database also available with the cloud vendors. Like just take an example of AWS RDS. Like if you use the services like AWS RDS, then you can use this Postgres on your cloud platform under the RDBMS. Under this RDS service, you have multiple databases are there, like you have Oracle, SQL Server, Postgres is also there, and AWS also provide the enterprise level or cloud specific Postgres version, we called it as a AWS Aurora. So that one also you can use. Again, whenever these companies are providing their own Postgres version, they provide you a different type of features also. Like you take an example of AWS Aurora if you are using, which is like similar like your Postgres only, but you can see so many replications you can see if you compare it with the core Postgres, which is free of cost. So you can see the difference over there. So again, what I mean to say, like Postgres is very demanding in the market. Most of the project I have seen, they are trying to migrate from your Oracle to Postgres or SQL Server to Postgres also. There are multiple companies are coming forward and they are trying to migrate their database to the Postgres. One thing is it is completely free of cost. Not free of cost, I would say, but again, like you can have a support also, but compare it to the other RDBMS database, it is much cheaper. Security wise, if you want to scale your business, Postgres play a very important role in the RDBMS database, and it has a compatibility with multiple operating system. Just take an example, if you want to use this Postgres on Windows Server, you can use that. If you want to use this Postgres on Mac operating system, you can use that. If you want to use this Postgres on let's say you want to use it on the operating system like Oracle Linux or Red Hat Linux, definitely you can use that. There is no problem in that. Okay, so it is possible. So with this, what we are going to do, we are going to see how to use this Postgres on Windows operating system also, and we are going to see this Postgres how to use on Linux operating system also. Both the way we can do that. Just to make you understand about this concept and how this Postgres looks like, I'll just give you some little bit idea. So if you go here, what I did, I have installed the Oracle VirtualBox. So this is my Oracle VirtualBox. Don't worry about that. Those people who don't know about Oracle VirtualBox, or if you are listening it for the first time, I'm going to explain you everything about this VirtualBox. And I have already installed a Postgres over here. So if you go here, what I did, I have installed the Postgres on this machine. So let me explain you what I have done till now here. Remember one thing, I'm going to explain you how to install the Postgres on Windows, as well as I'm going to show you how to install the Postgres on Linux operating system. That I'm going to show you. So as I said, if you want to install Postgres, first of all, you need a operating system. Like you can use this Windows operating system, you can use this Linux operating system, you can use Mac operating system, any operating system. So it is mostly flexible with almost all the operating system what you use in the real-time production environment. And under this, what I did, I have done the installation of Postgres server. We use the terminology called, what we do, we use the terminology called server, Postgres server. What I mean to say, let me open that again. So Postgres server, why it is calling it as a Postgres server? Because it contain multiple database. Like let's say we can have a multiple databases. Remember one thing that when you do the installation of Postgres server, when you, let's say you think that okay, I want to install a database, so by default one database will be getting created, and that database name is Postgres. By default this database will be getting created and the name of that database is Postgres. This will get automatically get created. But apart from this database, if you want to create another database, like let's say you want to create DB1, DB2, you can do that. Let's say you want to create your own database, you can create your multiple database like DB1, DB2, and it's very simple also. So just to show you how PostgreSQL looks, let me take one example. What I did, I think this is the machine which I installed. Do we have any other machine? No. Okay, so I'm using this PostgreSQL 15 version. Okay, in order to install this PostgreSQL 15 version, we are going to use Postgres 15 version for our training purpose. I have used the Oracle VirtualBox. So Oracle VirtualBox is a software. Oracle VirtualBox is a software through which Oracle VirtualBox is a software through which you can run multiple virtual machine. You can see on my left hand side there are multiple virtual machines are there. So what I did, I have installed a server, and the server is Red Hat Linux 9. I have used Red Hat Linux 9, and under this Red Hat Linux 9, so this box what you see, this is my Red Hat Linux 9 I have used, and under this I have installed the PostgreSQL server. I installed this PostgreSQL server. When I did the installation of PostgreSQL server, by default a database got created with the name Postgres. Along with this, two more database will get created, and we call it as a template 0, and one more is there, template 1. I will talk about what is the importance of template 0 and template 1. So there are three databases are there which will get created automatically. One is Postgres, second one is template 0, and third one is template 1. Apart from this, if you want to create your customized database, like let's say I want to create DB1, DB2, you can create as many as database you can, provided you have sufficient resources are available. Provided you have sufficient resources like memory, storage, and everything is available. Now, let me do one thing. What I did, so this is my server. Okay, I will just take the remote of this server. So normally in real-time production environment, we don't use the GUI like this, what you see here, right? So we don't take the GUI like this, like I have used the GUI here, but normally we take the remote of this server. Okay, so let me try to connect by using my here, and okay, let me connect here. I hope so this is the machine right way. Yeah, I can see. So in the real-time production environment, you will see only the black screen like this. You will never get a chance to see a GUI screen. This is the way you see. Now it is asking me to enter the password of your server user. So I'm going to create, I have a user called Postgres, and the password is already saved here. So what I did, I got connected to my server. So basically I have an operating system. Like if you go here, I'm using Red Hat Linux. Okay, so I'm using this Red Hat Linux cat/etc/Red Hat release. If I see, currently I'm using Red Hat Linux 9.4. This is my operating system. Okay, you consider this is my operating system. Under this operating system, I have installed a database called Postgres. So this is my the rectangle box or square box what you see, this is my operating system. Under this I have a database called Postgres. Now let me check whether my Postgres is running or not. So for that I will call ps-ef grep Postgres. If I run this, so I don't see any services running which are related to my Postgres. I don't see any services are running. These are the shadow services are there. So what I will do, pg_ctl start. When I'm running this command, I'm trying to start my PostgreSQL. So pg_ctl is the utility. pg_ctl is the utility. Just like those people who are coming from Oracle background, we use the SQL plus utility, right? Similar way, I'm going to use pg_ctl is the utility, and I'm saying start. I want to start my database. I did not specify other because everything is available in my bash profile. I'll talk about what is bash profile and all. So if I check pg_ctl status, so I got the message like, okay, I have a PostgreSQL server is running with the process ID 2088, and it is running from this binary. So I'm using this PostgreSQL 15 version, and currently my PostgreSQL is running. If I check ps-ef grep Postgres again, I can see I have a background processes are running which are related to the PostgreSQL, like check pointer, background writer, wall writer, auto vacuum, archival. If you have any logical replications, like in Oracle database, there is a concept called data guard or any replications. So these are all services you can see are running. So if you want to check whether my PostgreSQL is running or not, you can use this way. You can use pg_ctl status, or there is one more way, is like you can call systemctl status Postgres. That one also you can use that if you want to check whether your PostgreSQL is running or not. So how to install this PostgreSQL, I'm going to show you one by one in the next lecture. Don't worry about that. Today I just thought like I should give you some heads up about how PostgreSQL looks. I should see at least the look wise. So that is the reason I'm directly showing all these things. Okay, before I proceed, whatever we have discussed, are you able to understand, everyone? Can you please use the chat option and confirm me once whatever we have discussed, are you able to understand? Can you please use, say yes, no, whatever it is. Aisha is saying yes, Sanjay is saying yes, Nanna is saying yes, nice. Abod Ali is saying yes, Aru is saying yes, nice. Okay, Adri is saying yes, Anna is saying yes, Vijay is saying yes, Rahul is saying yes, Akash is saying yes, Sam is saying yes, Syed is saying yes, nice. Fine. So I see you people are happy and you people are able to understand it very, very well. Now what we will do, okay, before we go to the next level, let us try to understand about, before we go to the next level, let us try to understand about the PostgreSQL architecture. We are trying to understand about the PostgreSQL architecture. Okay, let's try to understand. Fine, let me write down. Okay, so I'll write down here Postgres architecture. Okay, so what is this architecture? Okay, see, whenever we try to understand about, any technology, let's say I want to learn about any technology. Whenever I want to understand about any technology, the first thing that we do is, whenever I try to understand about any technology, the first thing that we try to understand is architecture. What we try to understand? The first thing that we try to understand about is architecture. Architecture play an very, very important role. Architecture play an very, very important role. See, like you might have heard about the biology and all, right? Or let's say anything, like let's say in future you want to understand about Oracle, or let's say you want to understand about cloud, let's say you want to understand about a big data technologies. I would suggest you start with the architecture. That's the core of any technology. If you understand the architecture, you understand everything. Okay, I'll try to break down this PostgreSQL architecture into the small part. Okay, now when I see this architecture, okay, what you see? Okay, let's try to understand. When I fire the command like ps-ef grep pmon, when I fire the command like ps-ef grep pmon, I can see there are multiple background processes are running. Okay, whenever you understand about any database architecture, it is basically divided into the two part. One is your memory part, and second part will be your storage part. Okay, so what is meant by memory part? Memory is mainly responsible for your processing. Okay, And whenever you want to store something, just like your hard disk, that time we are going to use storage. Just take an example. What is mean by processing? Like, see, when I'm explaining you about the concept, now we are learning about the PostgreSQL architecture, right? When I'm explaining you about the concept, now this concept are processing under your memory. So you have memory where it is getting processed. Whatever I'm trying to make you understand, it is getting processed under your memory. And where the storage will be there, the storage will be like your recordings. Like every after the session, we will provide you recordings. Why we provide the recording? What is the reason behind that? We provide the recording because everything you cannot store into the memory. Everything you cannot store into the memory. Memory is temporary. Any data which is available inside the memory can be vanished at any time. And recording, if I'm giving you, that is a permanent storage. So you have two type of things are there. One is memory and other thing is storage also. So anything which is available inside the memory is faster and storage is slower, but it is a permanently available. If I'm telling you any concept, you might be remembering that for 1 week or 2 weeks. After that you will forget it, right? After that you will forget it. So you have memory and you have storage. Memory is for processing and storage is for to save our data permanently. Okay, we'll try to understand about that. Now let's say there is a person, user 1, user 2. There are the people, they want to connect to the PostgreSQL database server. They want to connect to the PostgreSQL database server. So for every PostgreSQL connections, like these are the client connections which are trying to connect to the Postgres server, a postmaster process is going to be created. What will be getting created? The postmaster is going to take the connection request. Okay, so basically your database is working on client server architecture. Client server architecture means client is sending a request, and server will process that. Client means, let's say I want to connect to database, so I am a client. What is my request? I want to select some data. From some table. So this is my request. And server is showing me that table. Server is showing me in the form of table. That is a request. So you can have multiple client coming with multiple requests. Like we can have multiple people can connect to the database at a time, right? So there is a user, or there are users, they want to connect to the database. So that connections will be taken care by postmaster. So there was a postmaster process was there earlier, but nowadays it is completely being handled by Postgres as a background process. You consider that. Okay, so you have a user who want to connect to the database, like, and that connection will be taken by Postgres. So it is an internal process which will take that connection request. Earlier it was a postmaster, but nowadays everything is done with the Postgres only. Now what will happen? Whenever you want to configure a Postgres, we are going to provide some memory. To the Postgres database, because it is going to process the request, and that memory we called it as a shared memory. So what we do, that memory we called it as a shared memory. So I'm going to allocate some shared memory. I'm going to allocate some memory to my database, that is called shared memory. Normally it is like a 25% of your RAM, whatever RAM you have allocated to your operating system or server, are around 25%. Let's say I allocated 100 GB, so it can be 25 GB of your shared memory. Why we require a memory to the database? Because when I run the command like select star from emp, let's say I run the command like select star from emp, I see the result, but in order to see that result, that processing will be taken care by your database, and in order to process that, it required a memory. See, when I'm running this Zoom meeting, when I'm running this virtual box, it consumes the memory. It's not running free of cost. It consumes my memory. Similar way, when my PostgreSQL database is running, database server is running, it required a memory to process your request. That is called shared memory. This shared memory, what you allocate, is basically divided into the multiple small chunk part. Like you have one part is, we called it as a shared buffer. What we called it as a shared buffer. So one part is shared buffer. Another part is we called it as a wall buffer. Another part we called it as a wall buffer, and third part will be your temp buffer. Likewise, you have other buffers are also available, but I will discuss about that later. And I'll just mention here like other buffers. Okay, so I'll just break down it as other buffer. So you have other buffers are also available, but on a bigger level, you have shared buffer, wall buffer, and temporary buffer. Remember one thing, that the component which I have mentioned here, these are the part of memory. It means anything which is stored over here is not permanent. It is temporary only. Then on the storage part, you have your data files are there. Let's say I'll write down data file number 1, data file number 2, data file number 3. You can have multiple data files. So these are all my data files. Okay, these are all my data files. Then you have my so these are my data files. Then you have my wall files are there. So wall file, like just take example, wall file number 1, wall file number 2, something like that. These are my wall files. Then you have one more type of files are there, that is called, what is that? We called it as archive log files. And whatever I have mentioned below this line, these are all my physical files are there. Remember, physical files means I can go and I can show you these files practically. I can show you these files also. I can show you the location of these files, how it looks. These are all physical files. Now let's take an example of your shared buffer or shared memory. So consider a situation that there is a user 1. He want to connect to the database. So he is sending a request saying that, okay, I want to connect to the database. That connection request will be taken by Postgres. So Postgres is responsible to take the connection request. He will take that. But he is going to check whether this user is a valid user or not under a file called, there is one more file is there. We called it as a pg_hba.conf file. There is a host based authentication file is there. What is the importance of this file? I'll tell you one example. What is the importance of this file? Let's say I want to connect to the database. Okay. So whenever user want to connect to the database, it's not like he can directly make a connection to the database. First of all, he need to check whether his entry is available into one file called hba.conf file, pg_hba.conf. He need to make his entry here. You know that there is a user 1, he is going to make a connection to the database. You are going to make his entry into this file. This is a authentication file. So let's say 10 users are connecting to the database. You need to make their entry here saying that, okay, there is a user called U1. He is going to make a connections from this IP address. He want to connect to the database 1. His entry should be there. Into which file? pg_hba.conf file. This host based authentication. This is one security which is provided by Postgres. Normally you don't see all these things in the Oracle database. Oracle will have a security under a database level. Here it is checking it on server level itself. That is called host based authentication. That is the reason it is calling it as host. Means on host level itself, before you reach to the database, on host level itself you are checking whether his entry is available into this file or not. You are going to check that under this. Okay, if the entry is available, then then the next part will be whether this user is having access to connect to the database or not. Whether this user is having access to connect to the database, whether he is having access to access the object or not. That is the on database level. Then I'll discuss about this in later. So consider a situation, okay, consider a situation, there is a user, he want to connect to the database. So first his entry will be checked under this file. I'll show you this file, how it looks practically, don't worry about that. First of all, his entry will be checked into this file. Again, I'm assuming that his entry is available. Then he is going to fire a command like select star from EMP. Just take an example, he want to access a data from the EMP table. He want to access a data from the EMP table. So any query which you are running, do you think that will be understood by database directly? No. That query will be processed, right? When you run any DML statement or any DDL statement, that will be processed. It means the syntax check will happen, semantic check will happen, then optimizer is going to, whenever you are running the command, there is a chances that you are writing the wrong command. Maybe you forgot to give semicolon, maybe you have given some syntax issue. There is a chances, right? There is a chances. So that will be processed under this memory part. That will be processed. Where? Under the memory. Okay, assume a situation that okay, syntactically and semantically means I'm assuming that you have proper permissions also. Permission means you have a permission to access some schema. You have options, you have options, you have a privileges to access a schema and their corresponding object. I'm assuming that. Okay, you got connected and you run the command like select star from EMP. Then whenever you are running the command, for that command the plan will be getting generated. Which plan? We called it as an execution plan. Execution plan will be getting generated. Who will create this plan? This will be created by your optimizer. Optimizer is going to create execution plan. Optimizer is going to create execution plan. What is plan? See, plan is a very simple terminology. Just take an example. I want to build my home. What I want to do? I want to build my home. If I want to build my home, what I'll do? I'll create a multiple plan, right? And the plan which is having a lowest cost, every plan will have 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. The plan which is having a lowest cost, I will pick up this plan because I have a budget like this. Similar way, optimizer will also create multiple plan. Plan number 1, plan number 2, plan number 3. He can create multiple plan. But the plan which is having a lowest cost will be used for the execution of your query. Why? Why lowest cost? Because according to this plan, the query will be running very fastly. The query will run very fastly. So whenever you are running the command, the optimizer is going to create execution plan. And the plan which is having a lowest cost will be used for your execution of your query. Where it is happening? Everything is happening under your memory only. Here only it is going to happen. Here it is only happen. But where is my actual data, boss? Where is my actual data? Do you think that my data is available here? Okay, assume a situation that the plan is created. Okay, the plan is created. So there is a user 1. He want to fire a select statement. There is an optimizer. He created multiple plan, but plan number 1 has been used. Now what will happen? He has run the select star from EMP, na? But do you think that data is available inside the memory? No. Where is my permanent data? My permanent data is available inside the where? Where is my permanent data, guys? Where is my permanent data? Your data is actually available inside the data file. Here, data file store your actual data. Many people are thinking that table is your actual data. No, table is just a logical thing. There is a difference between logical and physical. I explained in the last lecture also. My actual data is available inside the data file. Where? My actual data is available inside the data file. It is a binary file. You cannot read it directly. So when you run the command like select star from emp, you see the data in the form of rows and column. That is called table, and that data is coming from your data file. From where? That data is coming from data file. You can see it in the form of table. You can see it in the form of table. So data file is a physical file. It's a binary file. No one can understand. Only Oracle, only your Postgres software can understand it. Only Postgres software can understand it. That is the reason we use Postgres software. I want to see the data in the form of table. So what I mean to say, I have my data available here under a data file. When you run the command like select star from emp, the data is available here under a data file. That data directly will not be visible to the user. First of all, that data will be written to where? Shared buffer. Where it will be written? That data will be copied to the shared buffer area. Why? What is the reason? Why it will be copied? Why it will be copied to the? Why it will be copied to the shared buffer area? What do you think, guys? What do you think? Why the copy is happening under the shared buffer? Why the copy is happening under the shared buffer? Tell me a reason. What do you think? Why? What do you think? Why it is getting? Because if next time if the same request is coming, then next time he don't need to come to the data file which is in storage part. If you are reading a data from the storage, it is very costly operations. If you are reading a data from the storage, it is a very costly operations. So better you read the data from where? From memory only. Why? If you are reading it from the memory, it's very faster. See, now I am explaining you all these things. Do you think that I am reading it? No, because everything is available inside the memory. That is the reason it is a faster. So if you have a data available inside the memory, it is a faster. So that is the reason it is putting a data into the memory also. But why it is putting a data into the memory? Do you think that this data is available permanently? Is it permanently available? Is it permanently available? No. If I shut down my PostgreSQL, do you think that the data will be available here? No. Nothing will be there because it is a part of memory. It will go, vanished. But is it a loss? Is it a loss? No. Because my permanent data is available inside the data file. My permanent data is available inside the data file. So no problem. My permanent data is available inside the browser. So who is going to write down the data from data files to database shared buffer? That will be done by your backend process of PostgreSQL. That is a backend process. That is a backend process of Postgres. It will take care internally. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. So let me repeat it one more time from the very beginning. Let's say there is a user one. He is a client. He want to connect to the PostgreSQL server. So whenever a user want to connect to the PostgreSQL, the first thing is his entry should be available into a file called pg_hba.conf file. In this file, that entry should be available for this user. If it is available, then optimizer is going to create an execution plan. Okay, so he will pick up a base plan as per the cost. Then what is the next thing? First of all, it is going to check whether the data is available inside the memory or not. See, first of all, I'm going to check whether my data is available inside my memory or not. If it is not available inside the memory, from where I'm going to pick up that? It is available inside the data file for sure. But there is a background process. When it is the background process, it is going to copy a data into the shared buffer by the background process. Your PostgreSQL backend process is going to copy that data into the shared buffer area, which is a part of your memory. Why? For the faster retrieval. Let's say next user is also coming with the same request. So he don't need to read the data from data file now. He will directly read the data from memory because the copy is available here. That is the reason we use shared buffer. So this shared buffer is also having some, like I told you, right? We allocated 25%. Among that few percent we are going to allocate here. So you can tune it as per your requirement. Let's say you want to increase it, you want to decrease it, you can do that. There is no problem. You can increase the size of your shared buffer, wall buffer, temp buffer as per your requirement. You can do that. There is no problem. I'll show you practically how to do that. There is no problem in that. Before I proceed to the next level, whatever we have discussed, are you able to understand, everyone? Whatever we have discussed, are you able to understand till now? Everyone? Sanjay is saying yes, Shruti is saying yes, Sagar is saying yes, Abhiola is saying yes, Anna is saying yes, Vijay is saying yes, Sagar is saying yes. Nice. Nice. Prashant is saying yes, Sharma is saying yes, Sugandha is saying yes, Akshay is saying yes, Rameshwaram is saying yes, fine. Badri is saying yes, Krishna is saying yes, Syed is saying yes, fine. So again, I don't want to make it more complicated for today, okay? And definitely you might have a lot of questions in your mind also, right? I definitely want to take this as an interactive session. We are going to have an interactive session. We are going to have a lot of question and answer, everything. But we will take it from the next class, okay? Because from the next class, it will be paid class directly. So we will not have unpaid people, okay? So once we start our paid class, then we will have a lot of interactions. So in the next lecture, I'm going to show you the next part of architecture. In the next part, I'm going to take the architecture part, okay? So from the next session, everything will be like completely unmute. I'll give you space where you can ask me questions and I'll clarify everything, okay? Since today I don't want to do that, so in the next lecture I'll take care of that. Today those people who have any questions regarding the trainings and everything, now you can ask me. I'll make it unmute. But if you have any questions regarding the training, you please come up with the questions. I'll take care of that. The technical questions I'll take it from the next lectures, okay? So now the mic is open for all of you. So if you have any questions regarding the trainings, you can ask me. I'll clarify that.
And because this is not technical, but I just want to know, like, what is the critical application that you know which is using Postgres, like Airways, net banking? Are these applications are using this Postgres?
You take an example of your this share market. What is that? Kite, Zerodha. They are also using PostgreSQL.
Okay.
So Zerodha is
So,
obviously critical applications, right?
oh yeah, okay. So, but where is the high availability in terms of for entire cluster
We'll take
in
care of in the
Postgres?
next lecture. I don't want to take in technical today.
Oh, okay. Is it? Thank you.
How much is the training and how long is the training? The training will be going for 2 months. So every sessions will be getting recorded also. I'm going to it will be live sessions. First of all, live online sessions are there, even offlines are also available. Every session will get recorded and you will get the recording at the end of the day, so you can watch it. The recording access will be there for 1 year. For the cost of the training, you can reach out to the number which are available in the chat options. So please reach out to the Learnomate team. They will guide you regarding the cost and everything. You can also fill up the form. The link is available in the chat options. So we will call you back and we will have a discussion regarding this, okay?
So where we can get the syllabus?
Syllabus, if you want, you can go to the website learnomate.org and you can get the syllabus from there. So this is our official website, learnomate.org. If you go to the trainings part, you will see the recordings and everything. Go to the trainings. I think here it is. Postgres here. It should PostgreSQL DBA. So go back and you can see the things from here. I'll share you the link also. Any next question, guys?
So here we are covering high availability also, right, Ankush?
Yeah, replication is available with this.
Yeah. For high availability only we have replication in Postgres or anything else?
We are covering in the replication only, logical replication, physical replication. We are covering that.
But any other high availability technologies
On
in
cloud
Postgres?
level also, you can use that A to Z services and all.
Okay. Yeah, for example, in Oracle we have DataGuard, Golden Gate, and cluster, all other things. So
No,
what kind of high availability we have in Postgres here?
no. Here we are using this one only, replication part only. We are doing that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Fine, guys. Yeah. So
And what about the fee? What about the fee? Ankush? Sorry, last question.
you reach out to this number which are available in the chat. Okay, they will explain you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Sure.
Any more questions, guys?
Yeah, this is Vijay Kumar. Yeah, I'm an Oracle DBA background. I need to learn the OCI or PostgreSQL DBA. Which one is suggest?
See, my suggestion will be like, as of now, if I see the market, both things
Okay.
are quite important, because nowadays people need the resources who has the knowledge about multiple databases. Especially I would suggest, if you have a knowledge about one RDBMS database, enterprise level database, and one open source database, that will be a good combination. So Postgres is quite demanding in the market, and so there were a time, like, where the people were hiring separate DBA for PostgreSQL. I have seen multiple my colleagues, even I used to see that. Now the expectation is that even your Oracle DBA person, he should be able to handle your Postgres. And my suggestion will be like, it's quite easy only, because I'm also coming from Oracle background only. So when I compare it with the Oracle, this PostgreSQL is quite easy, and it is almost similar like your Oracle only. Like when you see the architecture and all, only the naming conventions are getting changed, but core architecture of your Oracle and Postgres is quite easy only. So OCI is also good. So I would not say it is like, either or R situation. It is like better you go with the OCI as well as Postgres. Both are good. Okay. So that is good for your future only, because as soon as your experience increasing, the expectations are becoming very high, right? So if you are Oracle DBA, obviously you should have a knowledge about RAC also. You should have, now in current market, the OCI is quite demanding in the market, because people are moving to the cloud and all, right? So OCI is also good, and one open source database like this Postgres.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
So we do have OCI also available. If you want, you can reach out to the Learnomate team.
Already I registered that.
Okay, you already registered.
Yeah.
Nice. So both are good. So better you go for it.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Yeah, I can hear you, Lillian.
You can hear me. I wanted to ask you, like for the Oracle database, when are you starting a class for it?
The new batch of Oracle DB is starting from 10th of February, next week.
Okay, next week.
Yeah.
The Postgres you're talking about now. Okay, I think it started tomorrow, or when? When will the webinar end?
Now this Oracle DB and that will be on next week only. Okay, you'll be notified.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I wish to ask the Oracle class and this Postgres, would they clash together because I've registered for the two?
No, the timings are different. Oracle DBA will be on different timing, and the Postgres, this is the current time, 7 to 8 p.m. in IST. Just current time is your PostgreSQL DBA training. Okay, this
Okay,
timing.
thank you.
And Oracle will be in the morning time, which will be evening for you. So
Okay.
both timings are different. So we are kickstarting both the batches parallelly. Okay. So understood, guys. Today's lecture little bit, at least 5-10%. How was that? Just taking a suggestions, small suggestions or a feedback.
Just a question.
Yeah. Yes,
It's,
please.
is there certification for Postgres
Yeah,
after we are done?
we do have EDB certifications are available, and we can help you with the clearing the certification as well. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening me, and again, thank you so much for giving your valuable time. Hopefully, you will join and you will enroll to the PostgreSQL DBA training. Again, it will be completely real-time, practical-based training, and don't worry about the things and all. Okay, you can expect support from our side also. Okay,
Okay,
so
please, one last question.
yeah.
Please, when are we expecting to get this video for today?
It is available on YouTube also. Okay. So you
Okay.
go to the Learnomate YouTube channel. I'll upload the recording. You can check your chat options because I'm live today on YouTube. You guys can subscribe to us. Okay, I think I have not copied it properly. 1 minute, let me check. So I have shared the link in my chat options, so you can check that, and it will be available.
Yes, sorry, I want to ask
Your
after
voice is
this
breaking. I'm
quick
really
class.
sorry
So
to say that.
okay, check in the chat. I've sent you a message.
What you said? No. Can you please use the chat
Can you
option if
please
your
check
voice is
in the
not clear?
chat? Can you please check in the chat?
When is the next Oracle DBA class after February? As for this, the time is now. Next, next batch. Not sure. I cannot promise the timing as of now. You do one thing. You can enroll for now. Okay, and we will provide you access to our recordings. You go through the recordings. Whenever you have any question, you just send a message to our group. We will take your control and we will fix your issues. And we are going to start our next batch, I think after 1 month. It will take another 1 month for me. Okay, but as of now you can enroll to the current batch, and as soon as we start our next batch now, you can switch to that next batch also. Is there a certification from you? No, the certification. So you need to enroll for certification. You need to pay for the certification because the certification cost will be taken care by the EDB company. Okay, or it's not coming to us. Okay, but we can help you for a certification clearance. Okay, so you need to enroll. We will help you for the enrollment purpose, but whatever the charges are there of the certification, you need to pay it from your side. Okay. Uh, and that certification will be very valuable, and you can show that certification everywhere because that is an enterprise level certification. So we also provide the certification, but that's just a Learnomate certification saying that yes, we can help you. Just reach out to the Learnomate team. They will provide you more details about it. All right, guys. Yeah, thank you. Again, you can follow us on our Instagram. You can follow me on my LinkedIn and all the chats. You can see the chat options. Just click on the link and follow me on my LinkedIn for to know more about me. Still, if you have any questions, please reach out to the team. And again, we are starting this batch immediately. Okay. Thank you so much.